everyone, so welcome back to the video. In this video we will be initializing the class instances. We already did that. I'm talking about making the objects of a class, but then when we make it, you know about an init method. There's an init method which we use to initialize the object, right? Now what is happening is whenever you make an object, let's say you do p equals person, this is actually calling the init by itself, right? So I don't need to call underscore underscore init, right? It already does it. So what is this line doing? It's making the object. It's doing two things: making the object and initializing it also. It's doing two things together. That's why this dunder init, this is called dunder init. Dunder init means it's a double underscore method. Double underscore. It has double underscores. It's a double underscore method. And whenever you see a double underscore method, it has something special in it. And init is really special because it's making the object and initializing it at the same time. So you know that when you just write this line, it already said initialized object. It didn't have anything to initialize yet, or let's say it initialized the name. I can check p dot dict. So it made the object and initialized both. Can I check what's the object? Can I check is there any object present or not? Yes, there is an object present on this particular memory address, right? So it made the object, which is p. That object is basically is pointed by this variable called p, right? This variable p is pointing the object, and then it also initialized it with the name attribute and its value, right? So it does both of the things. If I want to replicate the working of the dunder init method, can I make my own init and it works the same way? Can it work the same way? Let me try. So if I do class student and I make my own init, it has nothing to do with the normal init. Then I put self, and then I'll say self dot name equals, okay, so I'll say Rakul, and then s equals student. If I just do that, now what is happening right now? If I do s dot underscore underscore dict, does it have its own namespace? Still it has its own namespace. It actually initialized it. So, but its namespace is empty. Then what about this? Did it not work? Yes, because I didn't call it. It's like a normal method, right? It's not a dunder method. It will not be called by itself just by looking at this line. This line this time just initialized the object. There was not any init present here, so it just made an object. Let me show you if it made an object or not. Still, it has an object, right? It made the object, but did it initialize it? Did it call this? Let me print it. No, it's not printing anything. See, here when I run this, it didn't print anything. So that means it's not calling the init. It didn't call this function by itself because it's not a special function. So can I call it and then initialize it? Yes, I can say s.init, and I need to actually I'm not taking any value here, so it should be fine. So if I do this and then I check, see, now it's calling the init. So now if I check dot underscore underscore dict, that is containing name Rakul. Now compare it with the dunder init method. Here I am making the object and this particular variable is pointing to the object, and then I'm initializing the object in another line by calling the init. These two things are done by dunder init. I don't need to do two different things. I don't need to make the object and then initialize it by calling the init. No, I can just write this line and it does two things for us. That's it for this lesson, so that you have the clarity about it. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye.